Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Coffee with Chris. Today, I'll be talking about how I'm actually taking a mental day off, just for my own sake. And sometimes we gotta do that. So, as you all know, if you've been listening at least, I'm currently in a group project, which means that I had to message my group this morning. And I get up very early. So no one has replied yet, but I told them that I know this kind of sucks, but I need to take a mental health day today. And I also told them that I created the outline for our academical report and that I have collected stock footage and sound so that I can compose our video, because we are going to be doing this kind of like commercial-ish thing. It's not really a commercial, but then again, it's not a commercial. And honestly, the teachers haven't been very clear about that. They say different things, depending on which of our two primary teachers you ask. And it's a little confusing. And speaking of confusing, yesterday, we actually had a situation in which I had to tell the teachers that this wasn't acceptable. And that was... The entire day had consisted of most people being a little confused as to why we were doing this workshop, what we were supposed to be doing in the workshop, but none of us really questioned it, because it was like, okay, well, there's probably a point to this. And we did it, and we got through it, and as it turns out, many of us, not just my own group, but some of the other groups, because we talk a lot across the groups, had also misunderstood the whole thing. None of us really knew what to do with... So we had 3 tasks. And the first and the third task, sure, we understood those. But the second task, no one understood. So me and one of the guys from one of the other groups went out to ask. And we honestly came back more confused than when we left. The teacher leaves the room when it's a workshop. So they leave the room, they sit outside, or they just... fade out into their own world in front of the computer or something, because workshops are supposed to be mostly us doing work ourselves. And then we were called to the stand at the end, and we knew that we might have to present. So we go up there and we start presenting what we'd done. And that really didn't go well, because we had misunderstood what we were supposed to present. We thought we were presenting in front of our classmates, which we were, physically. But apparently the teacher wanted us to present as if we were pitching to a client. Those are 2 very different scenarios. So we obviously did the thing wrong. And we said all the wrong things and all that stuff. And I can admit to that. But then he comes in, and rather than telling us, I think you've misunderstood the assignment, he decides to humiliate us in front of our classmates by using our classmates to shame us. And afterwards, I told him, while we were still standing up there, I told him that, well, first of all, I kind of interrupted him while he was doing that. I tried to do it in a nice way, where I was like, no, hey, I know what you're doing here. And there's no point to that, because it's very obvious that the reason that we didn't manage to communicate these things is that we misunderstood the assignment. And following that, I told them that, I kind of laughed and said, I know I complain a lot, but here's a little more. Okay, so you're just going to have to live with it. And one of the teachers actually laughed at that. He found it pretty funny that I was just like, I complain a lot. So that was good. It was a positive sign. And I then told our teachers that a lot of people in class had been confused about this assignment. And I explained to him the situation. Well, I explained to them the situation. And he decided to do that arrogant thing where he tries to win the argument by pulling in the class that I'm talking about. And we've all... No, okay, we probably haven't all been in this situation, but we've all maybe seen someone in this situation. Maybe you've even been the one sitting on the bench, not being willing to admit that, yes, you did indeed feel this way. So I was nervous that I just told him that I knew that a lot of people in class, because I had talked to a lot of people in class, so I knew that they were confused about it, and that they didn't feel like the teachers had made it very clear what we were supposed to be doing. And so I was worried that these people wouldn't pipe up, like wouldn't say it when asked by the teacher, but thankfully they did. About half of the class either raised their hand, nodded, or verbally responded. And I thought that was really, really great. And you could kind of see it on the teacher's face that he wasn't expecting that. He was expecting a resounding no, we understood it completely. But he didn't get that. And so he seemed to become very defensive. And I get that, because now he was on the spot. But up until this point, I was pretty, casual about it. I didn't take it too hard. I didn't think it was that big a deal. I felt shamed and humiliated. I felt like it was unnecessary. But I also figured that he didn't have those intentions. But then he started defending himself. And he started talking about how sometimes they want to show us that the world isn't a nice place. And that pisses me off, because anyone who uses that argument is part of the problem. I know the world isn't a nice place. That's why I try to make the world a better place, even just a little bit. I try to do kind things. I try to treat people right. I try to say hello to people on the street and, sure, some people don't like that. I come from a society where it's very common to kind of greet each other as you pass by, like, good evening, or maybe even just nod your head. But it's more so the whole idea of putting something out into the world rather than taking something away from the world. And that made me lose a lot of respect for him. I still have a lot of respect for the man. He's a brilliant teacher. He's good at what he does. And he's always so helpful and all of that. So I still have tons of respect for him, but it did make me lose a bit. It really did. I've been feeling disappointed in him. I expected more from this teacher. And so I just combine that with the fact that I'm pretty stressed lately and I haven't slept a whole lot today. I'm not having a great time recently. And so I'm taking a mental health day. It's gonna be good. And they'll forgive me, because I will be doing work still. I just won't be spending 2 hours of my day biking to and from school. Because that takes a lot of energy. So I leave at 8 and I'm home at 4. That's a pretty short work day. Actually pretty great. But the bike ride is killing me. And that's just, It gives me 2 more hours to work. I've got 2 entire hours extra where I can either work or I can just relax, which will allow me to work harder. So sometimes it's just you gotta take a mental health day. And honestly, I think if I was an employer, I would be very wary of my employees taking mental health days. But I have to admit that I would rather they tell me that it's a mental health day than they lie to me and say that it's a physical health day. Because, either way, they are doing it for their mental health. And that is in and of itself a good thing. Now, if you start abusing this and you're taking a mental health day every Friday, no, it doesn't work like that. If that's how you need it, then we can talk. And maybe I'll cut your hours or something like that. I'm not the boss of anyone, but I'm just thinking in the future, there are things that I will accept and things that I won't accept. And I do think that I'd be more willing than most to accept mental health days because I find them really important. I have a lot of things to deal with, and honestly, I think that I would be more productive if I worked full-time Monday and Tuesday, as well as Thursday and Friday. Getting to take Wednesdays off would most likely make me much more efficient. And I'd be able to do just as much work, if not more, or at least better work throughout the week, simply because I am allowed time for myself. I'm that kind of person. So I know the importance of mental health days, and if an employee is still doing good work, if they are doing what they get paid for, and then occasionally they need a mental health day, that's fine, I can accept that. But if this employee thinks that mental health days are just free money, then that's reason for firing them. They are abusing a system, they're lying to their boss, I'd have to sack them. Of course, I'd give them a warning first. And if they really do have that much of a need for a mental health day, we could work something out, perhaps. There are a lot of ways to go about things. I don't know if I'm actually trying to make a point, but I guess my point is something along the lines of taking care of yourself and your mental health is just as important as your physical health. Getting exercise and eating right is equally important to, meditating or reading to just turn off your brain. There are so many things that you can and should do for yourself that a lot of people don't do. But in my experience, mental health leads to physical health, and physical health leads to mental health. You'll often feel better about yourself if you eat healthy, and you'll often be more capable of eating healthy if you are more mentally fit. So it's a balance, and it's an important balance to strike. And today, for me, I don't need a day off from work. I can still do work. Today, I just need a day where there's no pressure on me. There's no social interactions. There's nothing except for me and the work that I need to do. Today, I will be more productive thanks to me staying home. And that is how it is today. That's not how it will be tomorrow. I'm not a work from home kind of person. I'm a balanced person. I need balance in my life. A little work from home, a little work on location. Then I can produce better results. And I feel bad. I shouldn't have to feel bad though. I'm pretty sure that they're going to be really accepting of it. But I'm anxiously waiting for them to wake up. They probably won't wake up for another hour at least. So we'll just have to wait and see. But in the meantime, I figured I'd do this, and I'll probably also get started working pretty soon, actually. As soon as this is uploaded, I think I'll start pulling the files into Premiere Pro, which is where I'm going to edit the video. I won't show it to you, this channel so far is only for this one particular thing. I am looking into maybe doing some other things as well, but they would either be really short video or animation projects or really short programming tutorials. Maybe I'll do it when it comes to the HTML and CSS workshops that I'm supposed to be making. I don't know. I want to do more with this channel. I'm just not sure what it is yet. But I do want to start adding some short 2 to 5 minute videos as well. that are maybe supposed to be more informative or entertaining, whereas this is I kind of wanted to call it a side piece, because it's just a small segment at the side. I know that right now it's the only thing and it's the primary thing and all that, but I also know that this is the thing that people are most likely least interested in. So, as with so many other things, it's a balance. If I upload a short 2 to 5 minute video every week and then I continue doing this every day, that would probably be a good balance, because the short videos do require more work. Anyway, I'm gonna keep it short today. It has been really nice talking to you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye now.